Hello everyone, welcome to Bouquet on Burlap. Today we will be painting a beautiful bouquet on the burlap that came in your little kit. You'll notice that your burlap is attached to a white piece of paper. You'll want to keep that paper on because the burlap, it's like it has holes in it and you don't want it to soak through onto your table. And I'll show you how to take this and mount it onto your frame after. So what you're going to need to do, you have some little paint cups. I put my paint on a little, it's a little yogurt lid. And so if you want to do any color mixing, these lids are nice because they're flat and then you can move your paint around. You have all 6 colors that you can mix together to make any color that you like. Today, I'm going to be using blue, red, green, black, and some white. And as you can see, the white on the red turns a little pink. So that looks really nice. But if you want to mix your colors together and make some different colors, you go right ahead. So let's get started. We're going to take our burlap and we're going to start with 3 red flowers. So all I did for that is I took my red and I did a circle somewhere in the middle. And if you've never painted on burlap before, it's a rougher texture. And as you can see, it really soaks up the paint. So you're just going to move your paint around into your circles. It gives it like a nice textured look. And this red really pops on the brown burlap. So you'll do a circle like that. And then we're gonna do a circle here and a circle here, just like we've got some, if you've bought flowers and you have them in a bundle and they kind of nestle in towards each other. So our circles are going to touch. Just like this. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. And please don't worry if your circles are not symmetrical. Maybe they're coming out more like an oval or they're not the same size. Just think of a bouquet of flowers. No 2 flowers are alike. So when you're painting, don't be too hard on yourself. I'm gonna come down around here. So I've got my 3 circles. What I'm going to do, and I should have told you this at the beginning, is you need a cup of water and a little rag because we're gonna wipe our brush off in between. And I like to have that on hand. So I'll show you how I take the brush and just give it a little swirl in the water. And then I'm gonna wipe it off. Now maybe you're doing this project for Mother's Day, or maybe you're just doing it for fun. But whatever you're doing it for, you're gonna have a really cute art piece at the end. So I have washed my brush, and what I want to do is I want to now do my vase. So I really liked how the blue looked up against the red. So I'm going to come to the side of my middle circle and I'm going to make a curved line on each side. And then I'm going to paint in the side. And I'm even going to just like kind of outline around the flower. And then I'm going to paint all of this in. And don't worry if it takes a little more paint than you were expecting. This is a very textured way of painting. The burlap is pretty rough. And I am noticing that I need a little bit more blue paint, so I'm just going to get a little more blue. You have the nice little cups, so you can just add as you go. And just glob it on and then spread it out. It's really neat to use, when I don't have burlap, I actually really like using cardboard, just something that's like a different color. And cardboard, even though it's not a rough feel, it soaks up the paint too, so you gotta make sure when you're working with that. I like the color of the brown though. Gives it kind of a natural feel. So we've got our vase. Now remember, with any of my videos, the nice thing is that if I go a little bit too quick for you and I go on to a step that you're not ready for, you can always pause me and then catch up, or you can rewind if you missed something. So don't be afraid to do that. So I have my vase, I have my flowers. Now I'm gonna wash my brush off again, and I'm actually going to now do my little white pieces. And that's because I don't want this to dry all the way. So I want to add my white, and I'm just going to take little, I just kind of like swoop it around. I don't really have any rhyme or reason. I just kind of get some detail in there. And if I want it a little darker, I add a bit more. Kind of just a circular motion, but almost like a flick too, because you want it to look natural. You don't want it to look too perfect, because you want it to look like, you know, how flowers look in nature. It's never completely perfect. They're always beautiful, but I've always got something a little bit different about them. And then I'm gonna take my black, and I like on my sample, I didn't even mean to, but I put a little heart in this one. And I'm gonna actually show you how to do that. That was just an accident, but when I do hearts with paint, I like to just do a V and then just sort of fill it in. So you could do little hearts in the middle, you could do just a little dot, or you could dab some circles around, just kind of make it look very natural. And I'm gonna keep my black because now I'm going to dab around the outside of my vase and outline. If you've ever been to the art house, you know Miss Mervyn loves outlining in black. I think it's really nice detail that it sort of makes your picture pop. It looks finished. So I've just always liked doing that. So I'm just going to finish off like that. And then on my sample, I have these beautiful green leaves, and I just love how the green, the red, and the blue all work together. So I'm gonna use my black, and I'm actually going to almost like draw the leaves on. And you'll notice when you draw that it's a little bit light, but we can always go back in afterwards and fill it in. And one thing I like to do is I like to have things falling off the page. And so you can see that you can't see the whole leaf, but your mind is going to let you imagine what is there. I'm just gonna add a leaf down here, and I need something kind of up here, so I'm gonna add a little one up there too, and maybe make this a little darker, and this. And this is where I'm gonna now go in and just darken up some of these lighter lines on. There we go. And I guess it's a little light right here. Let me darken this up a bit. Okay, so now I'm gonna wash my brush off. And I will add, I think my green might be a touch darker than the green that you have, but just gonna go in and finish off the painting with some green. And this just really finishes off the whole, picture. I'm just kind of going right up to my red and right in between. It's like coloring in. Ooh, that looks so good. And come in here. And then it's nice because you still have that natural brown on the outside, which is sometimes just a nice change from bright white. All right, so if you left it just on the burlap, it could be a tapestry, and that would be really cute. But what we're going to do, and as you can see, mine have turned out different than before. It always does. Obviously I used a little bit different green, but if I wanted that light green, I could just add some white and lighten it up a bit. But that's the whole point, is that it is supposed to look a little bit different. This is just a guide, and I want you guys to be really creative and add any little special touches that you want to. Now I have my frame, and I'm going to pop out the glass. You can, when it dries, you could frame it with the glass, but I like that this is a textured piece. And so what I want to do, and another thing is I didn't want to waste burlap. Look, this is kind of cool too when you take it off. But you want to let this dry. And then what you're going to do is you're going to hot glue gun, or you can cut it just to set inside here like you would a normal picture. But what I like to do is I like to put hot glue around the edge and then place the frame around it. Mine's still a little wet. And it just fits. You might have to trim yours, but you will, oops, let me get this in the camera. You will pop your picture in and you can still stand it up, or you can even hang it up. Mine's still dry, but you know what? I'm gonna try and pop that in and close it up so that we can see it a little bit better. I just love how the burlap texture is on there. It looks so good. Okay, so there we go. You don't even have to hot glue gun it, I guess. I just always do, but I guess even just if you want to pop it in like that, you've got this cute little picture. And you know, if you're a rainbow person, you could draw a rainbow in the background. But however yours turns out, be proud. I just love it. And I'd love, love, love to see how these turn out. So maybe if your parents are on Facebook or Instagram and they want to post a picture of your painting, They can tag Miss Mervin's Art House, tag the City of Fort St. John, so that we can see what happens to the kits when they leave us. Thanks for joining along. Bye.